Hello, everyone. This is Chris from Texas School, and I'm joined by another one of our fabulous instructors, Mary Fisk-Taylor, who is returning to teach a wonderful class at Texas School, Mastering the Art and Business of Photography. So, welcome, Mary, to our call today.
Thanks. It sounds really impressive, doesn't it? I mean, it sounds so, maybe it sounds even a little overwhelming. I promise you it's not that serious. Like we have so much fun in class.
Actually, I think it is impressive.
Good.
You and Jamie, you co-teach with Jamie Hayes. I've had a conversation with Jamie, so make sure you check out that conversation as well.
Yes.
But I know Mary Fisk-Taylor, and some of our attendees may know Mary Fisk-Taylor, but if there's someone that's looking at your class that doesn't know you have put your long and illustrious career into like 45 seconds or a minute.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. So I'm in the photography business by mistake. I always like to say, I kind of loved photography. And when my husband and I had our daughter, I looked up my wedding photographer and I'd taken a sabbatical from my job and I never left. I never went back to work. So, I love photography, but what I love the most, Chris, and I think it comes through in most of everything I do is I'm very passionate about small business creatives. I'm very passionate about us garnering what we deserve and the life we deserve to live. And, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but darn, charging what we're worth, knowing our worth and running a profitable business. I never felt like I needed to sacrifice that just because I was a photographer or creative or whatever. So if I could do anything there's a lot of things I wish I could do, but if there's something I could do in just industry specific is for every photographer to feel comfortable to charge what they need to charge to be profitable and to run a business that they deserve to have. So, yeah.
I think that's fantastic. I'm just going to expand on that.
Yeah.
You mentioned just helping small businesses, right? That's a backbone of America, really. And somehow photographers or creatives think that, oh, we're exempt or we're different. And I know you've seen it and I've seen it, but I know one thing, and maybe expand on this on your class. Maybe people have heard about your class, but I know, Mary, you're a constant student yourself.
Yes.
Learning new things and going with changing with technology and marketing trends and what the consumer's doing. And so your class, one of the questions, what would your class look like different? I'm sure there's some new things.
Oh, yeah.
that you're bringing to your class this year.
I know. I'm actually going to be in a class this afternoon learning new stuff. Yeah, Chris, you get it. 30 years. We've obviously gone from my Mamiya 6.7 film camera to, even just embracing 35 millimeter for like wedding photography when I did a lot more weddings, to going digital, to building websites, to building social media presence, and now using AI to make my job and my life so much easier. As a matter of fact, I'm sure you follow the Texas School Facebook page, but you guys check out, I posted a really quick little just simple thing you can do for your own business right now. And I did it 2 weeks ago, and I can already tell you it's making a big difference in my trajectory for Q1. But embracing all of these things and when I was younger and I would see people turn their nose up at whatever it was, whether it was 35 millimeter or digital or now AI. I'm like, not me. Like, I want to learn it all. And I know I can manipulate it to benefit me and my business. And because we're all small businesses, it's just Jamie and I, and we run a 7-figure business. We have consistently for over a decade. And, it's because I've embraced it and I've made it work for me, not let it work against me, and certainly not being afraid of it. So yeah, this year I'm excited. Like, I published my AI book last year. That's already been updated. Of course, every second it could be updated probably. But I've got some really fun things. And I think now more than ever, I can go into the class and say, guys, you can do that this week. You can go home and you can implement this next week and it'll make a difference. Whereas when I first started teaching, you have to get a proof and you have to get it printed and you'd have to order like 27,000 brochures or like I've been through all of it. Right. And it's so exciting right now. And, I'm really excited about it. I'm more excited about it now than I think I've ever been. It's hard, but I love learning. So it doesn't bother me. I love to learn new things and I love to figure out how to make them work for me again and not the other way around.
Yeah. I had no idea all these different certifications and, with Google and different digital certifications and stuff and Story Brand and Profit First and all of that.
Yes.
So, yeah. That's exciting to know that our instructors are still students as well too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm at the class I'm in right now is all about AI, and I'm getting and it's another marketing accreditation because I have my MBA, but it's literally as relative as the Minutemen. So I'm constantly upgrading my MBA because it's all changed so much. And so I'm working on a AI marketing degree or certificate right now. So it's kind of fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm the oldest person in the class.
That's
I'm here for it.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. That says a lot about you and what you bring to your students and to your business, and of course Texas School. So, student in your class, I know that's 5 days. It's April 26th through May 1. There's a lot of, not every day is the same. There's changes, but what's kind of an overview of what a day in your class would look like?
Yeah. So we'll definitely start the day with listening to a little Dave Matthews as we get settled and get adjusted to class. We'll probably talk about how amazing the night before was and how much fun we're having. And then for me, I do business marketing, sales, branding, all that in the morning because nobody has time for that in the afternoon. So we'll start it. Actually, I love starting with mindset. I'm going to go through the whole story brand framework because that's relative. I don't care if we're living on the moon. Those things are never going to change. There's just some basic core values that are basic core foundational pieces that I think make a great business person. And, we're going to go through easy and economical marketing ideas. And I'm going to give you some higher end ones too, but we don't all have huge marketing budgets. So I'm going to make sure you leave there with some really solid marketing ideas that aren't going to cost you arm and a leg, aren't going to cost you maybe anything, but your precious time. We're going to go through pricing. And just because we specialize in wall art and mostly painted wall art, it doesn't matter. Everything I bring to Texas School, I 100% believe it's applicable if you are selling products, if you're a portrait studio. Now, I get it. If you're high volume or mostly weddings or, mostly branding and headshots, maybe not as much, all of it, but you don't have to sell large painted portraits. You may think they're the ugliest things in the world. Cool, no problem. As long as my clients love them, I love them. But whatever it is you're selling, high-end custom albums, smaller prints, beautiful hand printed black and whites, whatever it is, this business model works. And that's what I'm so proud of is you don't have to sell what I sell. I don't care what car leaves the lot. Like you're going to leave in a Bronco. I'm going to leave in a Range Rover. Okay, cool. But it all works, right? They all have a principle foundation that they build their business on. And I think this one is applicable across the board for anybody selling portraits. So yeah.
That's great. So you've segued great to a next question. You said some great words there, foundational or portrait. So if you're playing matchmaker, who's a good student for your class? Is it someone that's already been in business for many years, someone that's just starting out?
Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, what I usually find is people brand new, kind of thinking about it, like dating the idea of starting and or have been in business past that decade, maybe even two, and have realized, oops, I missed some steps in there and I need to revamp. I tend to find that I'm kind of at those extremes, like brand new, or really I'm 20 years in, but I realized I missed a lot. And all of us went through this. We were still busy. We were doing great. We're, dropping our camera, making monies at some point, depending on the year. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and go, oh, wait, phone's not ringing, email's not full. And it's because we didn't keep up with the trends. And now you're trying to catch up. Those people I love because I can get you caught up. Brand new, you're going to be so much better off than me because you're going to start with a much better foundation than maybe Jamie and I started with. And we started great due to places like, Jamie attended Texas School when he first started. That's where he met most of his mentors, being a part of PPA, as you know, being a part of your local affiliate. I learned all those things. So I did have a great foundation, but there's a lot of things I missed. And I love new people that I can say, hey, don't do this. Don't start off. Don't do I just won't charge until, or I'm going to raise my prices when. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that. I promise you it never works out the way you hope. So really for me, it's those two a little bit. Now I love all of my students and really, truly over 20 years, some of my really good dear friends are from Texas School. I love that so much. Like I consider myself part of the Texas family. As you know, I go on all the trips to do all the things, but it's just such a good mix and we all help each other. And I find that because our class does have that range that people kind of buddy up and maybe I have someone that's a little bit older that's not as used. They want to learn more about videos or reels. And you got the young student that's like, I can teach you that, but could you teach me how to use a light meter? So we all work together and become this neat little pod, and I love that so much. And I feel like every year it just gets better and better. So my ideal student is anybody that wants to learn to have a successful, profitable business,
Yeah.
and appreciates quality posing and lighting, because obviously that's what Jamie's passionate about, and I'm passionate about the money.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think that your class, I think at one point your class might have been titled the best of both worlds. It's like
Yeah, it was.
create amazing products, still using those foundations to create good photography that people would admire and appreciate, but also make it profitable and sustainable so you can support your family and be a contributing member to your community. And that's so great that you're continuing that, but you're still evolving it as our industry evolves. And you talked a little bit about the culture in your class, and
Yeah.
I think that's a great thing about Texas school is, your best friends, and so building that
There's nothing like
community.
Texas school. I mean, if you're hearing this and you're thinking about it and you haven't attended, do yourself a favor. There's so many great, pick a great class. Love for you to pick mine, but there's so many great options. If you want to this year, take yourself, take your art, take your business to another level. And I mean that. I really believe that most students leave Texas school and they're going to go home and implement something, but we're not the fun, cool class. Like, meaning I'm not Shannon Squires, I'm not Richard, or I'm not going to teach you something that's so artsy cool. No, my work is solid. It's very solid work, but I can teach you how to take the stress off, so you're not missing your kids' soccer games. You're not missing out on things. I don't know why I'm getting emotional about that, but like, I feel like so many of us do that because we're just stressed about our business 24/7 and we miss so much of life. And here I can look back now, 30 years in at 57 years old. And I'm like, oof, I don't want anyone to miss those moments that I probably did, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And I think that's our whole goal for the week is you go home and you're going to feel better about yourself and your art and your business. And you hopefully gonna make a lot of friends along the way. So that's point.
That's fantastic. And you've already hit on my last question. I've been asking every instructor that we've had these, we're calling them off the record, but all these little talks that we've had. I'm like, after the parties and after the fun time in class and, and learning and getting new things, you don't want to be the student that goes home and drops a notebook in the corner and nothing happens, right? If you're going to invest your time and effort in this, at least put some effort into making it work after. So now real life sets in. You're back at home. You're back at your studio. But what's someone that took your class with you and Jamie that they can do, or how's their life different the week after Texas school than it was that Sunday night when they first walked into your classroom?
You're going to be exhausted. Plan a day to sleep. Number one, just no. That's a rule. It's a hard rule. Don't plan anything the day after Texas school. So rest. The beginning of the week, I always tell my class, let's treat everything like salsa. And I don't care how you want to do it, arrange it in your notebook. You're going to have hot, you're going to have, you're going to have medium, and you're going to have mild. And anything that comes across, put it in one of those salsa categories and go home. And then I am a big rewrite your notes kind of girl. However you do it, look at your notes and make sure you still feel that way. But anything that's hot salsa, hey, let's go. Let's not mess around, because again, we're not giving you ideas and things that you can't just do. I mean, I don't care if you don't have the same lights we have. You're still going to be able to light beautifully. I don't care if you have the same experience I have in marketing. You're going to go home with some marketing ideas. So hopefully for me, you're going to go home and you're going to identify that customer you want to serve, like nailed down vision board. I got it. You're going to maybe look at your product lines that you're currently offering and say, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm just going to be passionate about X, Y, and Z. And you're going to hone in on those. And then you're going to start maybe rewrite your consultations, how you're handling your consultations, how you're handling your sales experience. But number one, you're going to start putting yourself out there, because I think us as photographers get really caught up in the images we make, as we should. I get that. But quite frankly, if you can get your ideal clients or your locality to fall in love with you, it doesn't matter what you create. We see this every day on social media. How many times are we scrolling and we're like, oh, really? You look at a picture, but people are going bananas over it because they love the person that created it. And that's what you can do out of the gate. And hopefully you're going to get the confidence and you're going to get the path forward and you'll go home and do it. And I know some will, not everybody, unfortunately, but I know some will because I've seen it. I've had so many students come back and say, I made $12,000 last year and I broke 100 this year, 2 years later, or I broke 30 or whatever your goal is. So, and we're very goal oriented and I will check in on you. So if you write down those goals, I'm going to reach out and ask, how's the goals going? So we hopefully will hold ourselves accountable as well. And that's one thing I really like about our group too.
That's fantastic. I know you'll build a great culture at Texas school, and you've had students take your class again, not because the information wasn't good, it's because it was so much they couldn't contain all of it the first time.
Yeah, and it changes so often. I
It
know. I
changed.
love that. I love a repeat. I love a repeat student. That makes me feel really great.
Yeah.
But I love meeting new people. I love Texas school. I'm passionate about it. And guys, also, I think I would be remiss without mentioning, to be really fair, 2025 was just an interesting year in business,
Mhm.
and good, bad, or different. I don't know. I can't say things are bad because you're going to learn, right? So learning is always good, in my opinion. But I mean, you might be struggling right now, like, oh, take a week, and maybe you're taking a week off work, or you have to deal with extra childcare. Please invest in yourself, because I don't think it's going to get any easier. But I think those of us that are embracing the changes, that are embracing education, that are putting ourselves out there and putting ourselves amongst other successful people, we're going to be fine. We're going to do great. We're going to do great things our own way. So if you're struggling on the fence, look through that catalog. There's so many amazing options. Certainly ours being one of them, but so
Yeah.
many. Do yourself a favor and treat yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I can't recommend it enough. Learning is never a bad thing.
Well, thank you so much for that great plug. That's a perfect soundbite for Texas school. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I mean it from the
yeah,
bottom of my heart, and you know that. You
yeah,
know
I
that.
do. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking time to visit with us today. So just a reminder, the art and business of photography, there's mastering the art and business of photography with Mary Fisk-Taylor and Jamie Hayes. There's still room in their class, April 26th through May 1. You can find more about them and the whole Texas School experience at texasschool.org. So thank you so much, Mary, for spending some time with us today.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.